December 6th, 2018. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 169 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
Mike, you are on a tear.
I am.
Oh,
on
my
a tear.
gosh. I mean, we're going to get to your trip, this Vegas trip, but we've actually got to go back a week to begin this whole story of this run that you've been on.
I'm on a good run.
Oh, my gosh. Well, a few weeks ago, remember we talked about how we both hit a 5-point fire bet in the same session. I rolled one and you rolled one.
Right.
And these fire bets have been still hitting. You hit like a 5, wasn't it, like a couple weeks ago
on
a
Friday night?
Yeah.
On that Friday night, I rolled a 5.
You rolled a 5, and I wasn't with you that night.
No,
that was right.
No, I was there by myself, I believe.
Yeah, I think you were just going up to get your free play, and you played a little bit. Yeah. And then the next day, we go, and we went extra early. We both had the day off. So I don't know, we got up there at like 3:00.
Yeah, we were way earlier, and then we were both worried about, can we make it till midnight?
Exactly, because we had some free play at midnight. Well, our buddy Phil, one of the regulars at Harrah's, he got the dice at 3:30. And what did you say?
I turned to him, he's standing between you and I said, Phil, 3:30 is fire bet winning time. That's when typically fire bets are won. And he's looking at me and we're laughing. I said, it's 3:30, Phil. Roll a fire bet.
And what do you know? Phil rolled a 6-point fire. So it's the third one but I wasn't on it.
Yeah.
You had $10 on it.
Right.
So you won $10,000. Actually, a lot of people on the table had money out there on it.
Right.
So what were you saying that the casino lost just on the fire bets? I think you were
$67,000.
Yeah,
I think it was
just on the fire.
Right.
And that's after his good roll. His last number that he needed was a 10. So you're always like, shoot, it's one of the tough ones there.
Right.
And so meanwhile, I'm going around to all the other tables. I was saying, okay, we're on our 6th number. Okay, this. But the thing that the dealers were especially interested in was they had $19 on the fire bet.
Right. I had put 10 for him.
That's right.
Another guy put 5, and then 4 people had put $1.
So $19. It used to be the most the dealers could have on the fire bet was $5.
Right.
And they changed that rule recently. I'm not sure why.
Well, probably just
they're
to make the dealers happy,
and
right?
And the casino's still going to make money.
Right, sure.
Not
sure.
this night.
No.
So I'm going around, I'm saying, you guys have $19 on 19. So sure enough, he rolled that 6-point fire bet. You won $10,000. The dealers won $19,000.
Yep,
Oh my gosh.
We were very happy.
That was amazing. And that was so much. We've talked about how when the dealers drop chips into their tip container,
right,
the green chips, $25 chips, are the highest denomination they're allowed to go. Sometimes
I think it's usually so because when they take them in the back and they sort them and they count them, they just don't want a bunch of high denomination chips.
It looks suspicious, right? Basically.
Right.
So they will make an exception and they'll allow $100 chips for some of these big payoffs. Well, even with $100 chips, this would have been too much for $19,000. So they actually dropped purple, $500 chips and cut it out.
They paid the rest of us in yellow $1,000 chips.
Right, yes. Oh my gosh. So that was great. And then just that same night, I rolled a 5.
We switched tables. We went to another table.
Went to another table.
You rolled the 5, and then I rolled the 4.
Amazing. Yeah. And I'm not on the fire bet, so I'm not winning this. But I mean, I'm okay. That's fine, right? I'm not a side bet better. But, you're winning a ton. Of course, I'm winning. I mean, even if I'm not on the fire, if people are rolling that many points, I better be winning.
It was a huge night for me. And then that was Saturday night.
Right.
And then I went back on Monday to get some more free play and rolled the 5 to the fire.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, another 5.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Just crazy.
Yeah. Well, that 19th, I was asking a couple of pit bosses. They both felt that $19,000 drop was the biggest single drop for the dealers in the history of Harrah's Southern California.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I wouldn't be surprised because how often do they have that much on any kind of side bet?
Right. And
that pays
hits.
that much and it hits. Yeah. So that was all leading up to your trip. Now tell us about your trip to Las Vegas for the
Well, it was a very good trip.
Oh my gosh.
Let me start with just the gambling stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So on Friday night, we get there Friday night and we go to it. My dad and I go to a table at Harrah's. And anyway, this young guy got the dice and he rolled forever. What seemed like forever. It was one of the best. Well, I'll say this. It was the best roll I've ever been on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Best roll ever.
Okay.
Now, there's no fire bet there, and I didn't keep track if he would have made a fire bet in the excitement. It was a repeater table. It wasn't the all tall, all small.
And I asked you about that because you generally prefer the all small, tall tables to the repeater tables.
Right. And the reason I did it is because they were all full.
Oh, yeah.
And this repeater table was almost empty when I got there, when my dad and I got there. And I wanted more room for me and my dad.
Okay, good. Yeah.
And the crew that was on this table is one of my favorite crews.
Okay.
Okay. There's Toby and there's Frank and there's some guys I like to talk to. Mm-hmm. And so we went to their table and I just, was putting like $10 on the repeaters, but this guy repeated so many. He rolled 12 10s.
Oh my gosh.
12 10s.
Were you on the 10 also? I mean,
Yes.
you had it on the repeater, obviously.
I got it to the house max.
Which was?
5,000 only.
Oh my gosh.
And it hit.
Really?
Yeah, the 12th one, I won 10,000 on a 10.
So kind of like our fours.
Kind of like the fours.
In the
now, I was collecting the whole way. I started with $50. And so I went to 100, and then I went to 200. I don't remember the exact sequence, but I know I won 1,000. I know I won like a 2,000 or 3,000, and then finally it was 5, and he hit that, and I won that. And then I gave my dad 5,000 because I wanted to go more.
Oh, so he could bet it on there.
Yeah, he had a $25 10, and I said, pull his 25 down and make it 5,000 for him when the 10 hit.
Yeah.
So I left, I took 5 of that and put it up there. It didn't hit again.
Oh, man.
Oh, I wanted that to hit again so bad.
All right, well.
Anyway, he also rolled 5 hard 6s.
Wow.
And the last one I had $500 on it. So,
all right,
that's 4,500 right there. It was crazy. And I had tons for the dealers too. I mean, I think the last hard 6, they had 200 on it. So
the best roll, when you said that at first, I'm thinking, oh, come on, we've been on so many tables, but at least based on the way you were betting.
Right.
Now, it was the best.
I had the 6 up too to the max.
Do you think it was
which was 6,000?
Do you think it was the longest roll you've ever seen, or I mean, like the most number of rolls?
God, it's hard to say. Maybe maybe. I mean,
Wow.
his timing was perfect.
Yeah.
Because he'd make a point and then roll 2 7s.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
then the repeaters come down though.
Yeah, the repeaters
right?
come down, but I had him covered with stuff. Okay. He made a lot of repeaters anyway.
Wow. All right.
I mean, I lost track. I mean, seriously lost track because it was just too much to keep track of.
So that's a good start to your day.
Right. At the end of his roll, I was up the most I've ever been in Vegas.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. Now, as far as gambling goes, the rest of the trip was not that great.
Oh, okay.
I mean, after that, it was, a couple of little wins here and there and up and down, but nothing substantial to speak of.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, that was just an amazing. I went to bed that Friday night like on cloud 9.
That's great.
When they give you a manila envelope to put all your money in when you leave the cashier.
That's nice.
That's a nice win.
Wow, nice.
And a little weird walking through the casino with a manila envelope full of, bundles of 10,000.
You should have just stuck it under your shirt. Nobody would have noticed.
I should have just held it up. Whoa, look at this.
Big win. Go into my room now. Heading to the elevators.
Come on, everybody. Yeah, we're getting in the elevator and, a couple of guys get in there. Now they were fine. They were just normal guys. But my dad looks at me. Now, how much did you win? How much was it? Dad.
Yep.
He's talking real loud. He won. He did well too.
I'll bet.
And I tipped the guy $1,000.
Which guy?
The guy that rolled.
Oh, that rolled. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh,
gave
nice.
him $1,000.
Oh, you just had to do that then, huh? You had to break my record.
I broke your record. $1,000.
Biggest tip ever given. All right.
Yeah, he seemed pretty happy. I don't know. He was real stoic. It's funny as he was rolling, he was real stoic. I don't know if he was drunk or what, but it was one hell of a roll.
Wow, nice.
Anyway, yeah, so that was how the gambling went.
Okay.
The rest of the trip went fine. We went to the great gift wrap up.
Good.
And we got, a bunch of stuff.
A lot better organized,
way
et cetera,
better
than last
organized.
year.
Yeah, real nice.
Yeah, good.
They had a Christmas theme, if you will. Mm-hmm. And there was like a ballerina. It was like a nutcracker thing,
Okay.
There's a ballerina and there's a guy. And then they had
like real people.
Yeah, real people.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And they had a little stage. They did a little show. Okay. But at one point they had I'm going to show you this picture. They had a woman who was obviously on a ladder, but there's this huge dress. I mean, it goes way out.
Yeah.
Right. And so here's her little body up at the top and then this huge dress and you could take pictures. I tried to get them to let me lift up a corner of the dress and peek out like I was coming out from underneath the dress. They would not do that.
Huh.
But it was really nice, and it was fairly well organized. Although the computers, when we went to check out, went down.
Oh boy, yeah.
For like 20 minutes, and the line was growing huge.
Yeah.
And the guy said, "Well, you've already got everything you're going to order. We're open till 6. And this is at noon." I said, "Like, just come back later in the day."
You got all the. What do they give you? Like little.
They give you little slips of paper.
Oh yeah, okay.
He said, "Just come back later in the day and check out."
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And I thought, okay. And then right when we did that, then the computers are back up.
Okay.
So once the computers were up, the line went super fast.
Yeah.
So we got back in line. It was funny for people who didn't have very many points. You needed 17,000 points to get a $25 gift card.
Okay.
But if you had the cheapest thing underneath that, if you had 10,000 points only, you could get this little sausage. Now,
a little sausage.
A little sausage. Now, it said a sausage, right? And there were like 3 different kinds, like a garlic kind and, different flavors. And I'm not joking. It was little.
No, just to eat right there? Was it cooked?
No. It was like a roll, like a Yule log, or, you buy those, sausage rolls and you slice it up.
Oh, like a tube of beef that
like
you
a
get
tube
at,
of beef, right?
Like a
tube of beef. Like a Hickory Farms thing.
Okay, I see. That you put on a cracker or something like that.
It was small, Mark. I mean, the whole thing had to be like 3 inches long, right? And so, all these people go, "I got a sausage." And, when they're saying, "Oh, you get a sausage of 10,000 points," I'm thinking it's like a, like a Hickory Farms thing, like something that's like a foot long, right? That's like 3 inches. It's this little tiny sausage.
3 inches. Is that little?
That's little.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, they were giving them out, and so people are carrying around these little sausages, and it was pretty funny because that you had to pick up there. If you wanted gift cards, you had to pick them up there. And if you wanted the sausage, you had to pick it up there. Everything else they shipped to you. All the big stuff. So, but that was very well organized and very nice. Good. It was good. I saw a lot of Harrah's Rincon people there.
Sure.
All the usuals were there at getting their gifts and stuff. Yep. So that was kind of nice. It was like a little reunion in Las Vegas. Yep. As far as people that I met, of course, Dave and Julie and Big Lair were there.
Okay, good.
And,
that's
we
right.
spent a lot of time with them. My dad was entertaining them.
Good.
Big Lair was on the table when the guy had the big roll.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he got in kind of late. He got in about 3/4 of the way through that roll.
Okay, but he had some of it.
He had some of it, so I'm sure he made a little bit of money in that roll.
Yeah.
And then Greg stopped by at, listener Greg stopped by at Harrah's several times and talked to me.
Okay. All
and then when I was over at Planet Hollywood, we were playing on a table, and actually your sister and sister-in-law, Sue and Elle, were standing next to me.
Uh-huh.
A woman comes up with her husband, and she took the seat next to the dealer, and I was one away from that. Mm-hmm. And she was standing there, and she was playing for a while, and, she was kind of obviously a little new to the game, so I was helping her with a few things and just chit-chatting. And then all of a sudden, somebody made a point and she yells out "Muckleshoot," and then laughs, right? And then laughs because she's the whole time she knew who I was, but I had no clue, So her name was Melissa and her husband was Dan. Very nice people from Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And we had a good time. And it's funny because the dice weren't going all that well. And then she said, "I think I got a feeling." And I was laughing because Elle standing right there. I was like, "Oh yeah, you got a feeling?" She's like, "Yeah, I got a feeling that this is going to be it." And she got the dice and she had a heck of a roll.
Nice, good.
She had a really good roll. Got me all the way back to even from Planet Hollywood.
Oh, good.
Of course, then after that, it got bad again. Yeah. But she had a great roll. Good. She had a really good roll. Good. And then also 2 other listeners, Adam and Claire, stopped by. And they didn't play, but they hung out for a while and chatted, and it was nice meeting them. They didn't play, but the funny thing is that at one point, Elle was talking to him, and then she took him up to the Diamond Lounge at Planet Hollywood, and they ate, and they came back. They were like, "Oh my gosh," they had drinks and food at the Diamond Lounge, which was nice. Good. Also, I should mention that our good friend Andrew was there.
Oh, Andrew, yes.
Yeah, and we played a lot with Andrew on Saturday night. He hung out with me and my dad. He hung out with my dad a lot. Yeah. We were on the table there. And he brought us a couple of chips from a Star City casino in Sydney, Australia.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, good.
So I've got them for you.
Oh, nice.
For your collection.
Oh, okay, good.
And my dad's like, "Well, can you cash those in? They're $1 chips." I'm Dad, they're Australian $1 chips. They're like worth 62 cents American. I think Mark will just keep them.
That's right.
Anyway, all in all, it was a great trip. And
Good.
came home, we all came home winners. So
good.
That helps.
That does
that
help.
does help. That
good.
makes that miserable ride back worth it.
Yeah, that's right. You drove. That's right.
That Sunday drive. Yeah.
You got off to a later start than I thought you would have. Did you hit a lot of traffic?
No, what's crazy? Good. We had like almost zero traffic.
Good.
I mean, I never went under 80 the whole way back. It was great.
Good. All right. Well, let's hope this continues this weekend when we go. Your hot streak here.
Well, it continued last night.
Oh, that's right. You went for some more free play. You won again.
I went last night for some more free play and doubled my money in like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And I got to the table, and Wendy, one of our favorite dealers, she's like, "Oh, Mike, this table's been pretty cold. Maybe you should try the other one." Mm-hmm. And the other one was kind of crowded. And I said, "Oh, it's okay, Wendy. Whatever. I'll just do this." 45 minutes, doubled my money and left.
Good.
It's
good. Did you flip Wendy off when you walked away?
Oh, yeah. I laid into her, Mark. Oh, yeah.
Good.
No, it's funny. We have been on a tear.
Yeah,
it's just
nice.
I don't know why. Our timing's been good.
Our timing's been good. That's all it is. Good. All right. Well, welcome back. So, just a little bit of news. The Caesars is closing the Tunica Roadhouse casino that they own in Tunica, obviously. That will leave just 7 casinos in Tunica. From what I understand, it's struggling, the Tunica casino. And
I blame you.
Me? Why?
Yeah, because we didn't go.
And
that might have been the thing that tipped him over the edge.
That's the thing, too. If we do go, we would go to Biloxi probably before Tunica.
Right.
And they are not close. I mean, Biloxi's way down at the bottom of the state and Tunica's way at the top. So it's not like you go and, hey, we'll hit them both at once. Yeah, I don't know. It's always sad when
a casino closes.
A casino closes, yeah.
We light a little light.
That's right.
Outside our house.
Yeah, that's right. What are you doing? Well, you heard about Tunica, right? In Mississippi? Yeah. Crying. Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's move on to our voicemail hotline segment. Remember, call our hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
And maybe we'll play your clip on the show. First up is Logan.
Yeah, hi. This is a follow-up call from Logan from Hawaii. The repeater bet at the Venetian is going to disappear in a couple of months. They're going to replace it with, I believe, a traditional craps layout. I do know the repeater bet exists at the Orleans Hotel has a table, the Rio has a table, and the Gold Coast has a table. Just came back from Vegas, and I was on a table where the shooter had 60 rolls because I chart the dice like Mark. And I hit the repeater for a 5, a 9, and a 12, and a 3 during that individual's roll. And then I went to the Gold Coast where I was accused of making the pit boss nervous. Now, I've only been to the Gold Coast twice to gamble, and both times I lost. The person I went with to the Gold Coast, we both were at the craps table, and I was making that person nervous. So I left that person to go play slot machine. After I was done, that person called me over to the blackjack table where the person told me that the pit boss asked where you were. And I told the pit boss that I sent him away because he was making me nervous at the crap table. And the pit boss also said, yes, he makes me nervous at the crap table too. Now, I'm not a high roller. If I do win, I only win a few thousand. It's not like I'm winning hundreds of thousands of dollars from the casino where the pit boss would be justified in saying I make him nervous betting on craps. But I just wanted to know if any of you guys are told you make the pit boss nervous when you guys say craps, because you guys play as pairs. And Dr. Mike is a very aggressive roller on the hard ways, and parlaying $25 bets and $10 bets pays on a lot more than a parlay of a $2 bet. So, thank you.
You ever made a pit boss nervous, Mike?
Well, I don't know about nervous, but we've you and I both have had it where all of a sudden there's 4 of them watching our game.
Yeah, it's funny because okay, big bets that'll I guess get a pit boss's attention, but just that one guy's making me. I don't know, Logan. What do you look like?
Yeah,
are you a scary looking guy? Maybe that has something to do with it. But
I don't know what you're doing too.
That's right. No, we've never. Well, certainly they've never said you're making us nervous. And
right.
You'd better leave.
But we do sometimes get quite large bets.
And that's going to attract attention.
And then,
always
all of a sudden there's 4 pit bosses watching the game.
Yeah.
I never understand that.
Well,
what are they looking for?
I guess they think if they've got more eyes on the table, they can, see if something, if something rotten's happening.
Yeah, we're manipulating the cards
after the dice are rolled.
Yeah, or manipulating the dice in Vegas. I don't know. It's just stupid is what it is.
Yeah. I sometimes, with the fire bet, that attracted a lot of attention. But you know why?
That attracted a lot of attention because they lost $67,000.
It's that, and they have to fill out a lot of paperwork.
Yeah,
so they need extra people.
They get
there,
extra
especially
people to
at a crowded table. But no, I don't think we've ever really made somebody nervous.
I don't know. You make me nervous sometimes.
Sure. Yeah, that's intentional.
Around. Yeah, I know. I'm sure I make a lot of other people nervous. Not so much the pit, but I think I make other players.
It's mutual. I'm probably more nervous of you than you are of me.
Yeah, my brother says he's nervous of watching me play.
I believe it.
Because it gets him scared or something.
I believe it. You're kin.
Yeah. It's like, what's he going to do? So talking about those repeater bets, Logan, when I was in Vegas after I got up a lot, when I did play repeater, I played more all tall, all small after that.
Oh, at different tables.
At different tables. But when I did go back and play some repeater, what I was doing is I was putting $25 on 2, 3, 11, 12, and a nickel on the rest, $5 on the rest.
Okay,
and just hoping. And I did hit a couple of them, like 12s. Yeah. I think I hit a couple 12s and an 11 maybe. Yeah. So, but that's a nice payout.
Well, and it is easier to hit, because you only have to hit the 12 twice, the 2 twice.
Yeah,
you're more likely to lose than to win, but it's still easier to do than hitting 6 sixes.
When you hit one of them and you win over $1,200, it's like, okay, well, that makes up for a lot of, but I was putting $135 out there.
Yeah, and in the past,
130.
In the past, you've complained more about the repeater bet than anything else.
Yeah,
so
I would not do that had I not been up because it's putting too much money out there. Yeah.
All right, next call.
Hey guys, this is DA from Mississippi. I just wanted to tell you guys I love the show. Just now getting out of the casino after a 12-hour session. Played craps for the first time in my life. Hit the all tall small. And then played blackjack to pretty much recover the rest of my losings. And after a good 12 hours, leaving up a little bit, not bad, but just crazy variance. And hopefully that doesn't happen again. All right, have a good day.
Well, hitting the all small tall first time you play, that's pretty good.
That's pretty
Don't
good.
get used to that.
Yeah, 12-hour session too. I like that.
Yeah, that is good. So anyway, welcome to the world of craps. Yeah, hope you enjoy it. All right, next up is Adam.
Hey guys, Adam from Connecticut. Just wanted to call with a little report from MGM Springfield and a little change in my craps strategy. Previously, what I used to do when I would play craps, and there's almost no deviating from it, is I would do pass line with single odds. Unfortunately, I'm not a baller like Dr. Mike is with my max out on odds, but I would do pass line with single odds, and then I would place the 6 and the 8. And if the 6 or the 8 was the point, then I would place the number on the other side of it. So if the 8 was the point, I would place the 6 and 9. If the 6 was the point, I would place the 8 and the 5. What I noticed over the past couple trips up there is that when the money is out there, and there's some quick 7 outs, it destroys me. My money is off the table very quickly. So on a $10 table, it's $24, $44 out there. That's gone right away. So what I've started to do is I'll take the pass line with single odds, and then I will make 2 come bets with single odds. So at any given moment, I'll have $60 out there. I find that I'm making more money. I realize that this is a very small sample size, but over my last couple of trips, it seems as though the $10 on come on those quick 7-out rolls is protecting my money. And yeah, I'm losing some of it, but it seems to be protecting it quite a bit. It's also nice when it's the come-out roll, and let's say you have a come bet with odds on the 6, and the 6 is established as the point. You're not making any money on those odds. but you're making some money on the flat bet at least. Just something that I do. I know that Mark does this quite a bit, or something similar to this, where he does the pass line and a come better too. And I'm finding that it's just protecting my money a little bit more, despite the fact that I have more money out there at once. All right. Hopefully I'll call you pretty soon with a story of a monster roll. Probably won't be able to get to the casino now for a week or two because of my crazy schedule. Anyway, have a good one.
Yeah, come bets versus place bets.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, too, he's talking about when he makes the place bets, he's got $44 out there. When he makes the come bets, he's got $60. One difference is you don't always have 60 out there. You know, with the place bet, as long as it's not the come out roll, you always have the 44 out there. Now, of course, short term, anything can happen. We've talked about it. Yes, the come bet is good for those immediate 7 outs because you actually win on your come bet. And you didn't have any other money up there other than the odds and the pass line. But, those rolls where the roll is 5, you establish a point of 5, and then the next rolls are 6, 8, 7. Well, you haven't done too bad on your place bets. You at least made some of your money back. And you get wiped out on come bets. So it's that philosophical thing. Play however you like. But here's the bottom line. I ran some simulations on. I ran this for like 20 million hours worth of rolls, assuming like 100
So like
rolls.
a good trip to Vegas.
A good trip to Vegas.
Yeah.
Assuming about 100 rolls per hour, which is a lot. It might be less than that, but 100 is a nice round number. Playing the place bets the way that Adam originally played, you're going to lose about $13.75 per hour per 100 rolls. Playing the come bets, you're going to lose about a little over $10 an hour. So, in the long run,
difference.
it's significant. Now, this is theoretical and it's a long run, but there you go.
$3 an hour for, however many hours that was, which is a lot. That adds up to a fair amount of money.
Yeah. We're going to hear from Adam again later in the show.
With the big roll?
You'll see. I don't know.
All right.
I'm not promising anything.
All right. I'll be surprised.
All right. Next call.
Hi, yes. I was wondering why you guys don't have the Arizona State basketball game on your Bet the Guys website tonight. If you could give me a call back or if you could just put the game up there, that would be awesome. Thanks. Bye.
We're supposed to show the Arizona State basketball game on our website or something?
Was that a wrong number?
What do you think? All right, next real
you
call.
You should have just called him back. Arizona State, nobody watches them. Click.
Hey, Mark and Mike, it's Brandon from beautiful sunny St. George, Utah. Just wanted to do a trip report. First time playing craps. I got a little bit of training from my father-in-law beforehand, and then just listening to your show. So we went to Mesquite, about 40 minutes south of St. George, watched a few rolls, and then got in. My first roll was good, about 25 minutes. Believe it or not, I hit the all tall small, so that was cool. Unfortunately, nobody had any money on it. But later on, we did hit the small again, different roller. Father-in-law had some money on it, so that was good. But yeah, it was fun. It was a great experience. The dealers were awesome, and it was good. Afterwards, we went and played blackjack for a little bit. Ended up doing well there. It was a 3-2 table, so that was good. Got about 50 up there. So, I did forget to mention, bought in at craps with $100. Ended up leaving with about 91. Then after blackjack, left with about 200. So it was awesome. It was a good trip. We were only there about 3 hours because it's so close. Didn't want to miss the BYU-Utah game, the Holy War, go Utes. So it was a fun trip and a great first time playing craps. And a question I do have for you guys, I've been reading a little bit on it, watched a color up video on YouTube, and I wanted your guys' opinion on the iron cross method and your thoughts on that. So keep up the good work. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it.
It sounds like the key here is that if it's somebody's first time playing craps, you better bet on the all small tall.
Yeah,
because they're going to roll it on those first times.
Yeah, it's any of the weird bets win for first timers.
Yeah, that's a guarantee. We've mentioned that a lot on the show, so I don't think we need to.
That's why I try and find a first timer and latch onto them. It's gotten me in a little trouble.
Sure,
but
they don't understand at first. But yeah, once you give them a little cut of the money,
explain to them what's going on.
Yeah, here's your cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Iron Cross. We talked about this before. We don't particularly care for it, but if you do enjoy playing it, there's nothing wrong with it. Here's the Iron Cross is you're making a bet in the field, and then you're also making a bet on the 5, 6, and 8. 3 numbers that are not in the field.
Right.
So say you have $5 in the field and then a $5 place bet on the 5 and $6 place bet each on the 6 and 8. That way, no matter what number is rolled, as long as it's not a 7, you're going to get paid something. Now, the thing that we don't like about it is when a 5, 6, or an 8 are rolled, which is, that's pretty common. Those
6
3
and 8
numbers,
are very
especially.
common.
You're not winning that much.
You're hardly winning anything at all.
You're winning $7, but you're losing the $5 in the field, so it's only $2. And then when that 7 inevitably comes, then you lose everything. But you catch a roll where they're only rolling field numbers,
right? Or some guy rolls 3 11s and a couple 2s in the middle of the roll, then you're looking okay. But.
Yeah. So we see people do it. We don't recommend it, but try it, and if you like it, you go for it. See how it goes for you.
Yeah, I don't know. There's always been something about that.
I've never really
just don't get too much out of it.
I just didn't enjoy it, but to each his own.
And you score that Utah game?
Oh, so Utah won that game, right? 35-27. So
what was BYU's problem this year?
I don't know.
They sucked last year, and I thought, okay, they're going to be crappy this year. And they started off not too good, but then they kind of got better, and I thought, okay, well, maybe BYU's back. They've traditionally been pretty good at football. And then towards the end, they sucked again.
I don't know. I can't tell you, Mike. I don't know. I don't understand that whole football.
It's like I don't even know the game anymore.
It is. It's very much like that. All right, next up is Greg.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Greg from New York calling. I'm calling from McCarran Airport on my way out after a 10-day trip to Las Vegas. Don't really have time for a full trip report, but I will give some of the highlights. Definitely the number one highlight was, of course, getting a chance to play craps with Dr. Mike and his dad, meet some of the family. It would have been a highlight regardless, but as I'm sure Dr. Mike will tell you, we had a pretty good session. I think we all made some money and had lots of fun. Mark, sorry I missed you. Next time I'd love to catch up with you there. The other highlight of the trip, second to Dr. Mike, of course, was I hit my first royal flush at video poker, which is pretty incredible because I don't play a lot of video poker.
Come on!
It was at Luxor. I just put $20 in a machine, actually after getting wiped out at the craps table. And I figured I'd just kill some time and just completely randomly got a royal flush for $1,000. So that put me well ahead for gambling for the trip. And the other really interesting thing I did on this trip was one day I rented a car and drove to as many of the off-strip casinos as I could that I've never been to. I went south of the strip into Henderson and the Boulder Highway. I won't bore you with all of them, but my favorites, Joker's Wild, of course, is something that you can't miss. And I really liked Fiesta in Henderson, too. Did really well at the craps table there, but they have $3 craps there, 10 times odds. And the feel of the casino is really fun. The vibe is nice. The dealers are cool. The locals that were there all seemed nice and we're having a good time. Lowlights, I really didn't like M Casino. I think Dr. Mike agrees with me. It just seems kind of boring. I just don't get it. It's like a strip casino, like with all the pretension, but with nothing interesting and it's far away. So I know some people like it. I don't really get it. Also, Eastside Cannery just has no personality. I can't see any reason to go there. And one last thing I want to mention, Longhorn Casino on the Boulder Highway is exactly what I was looking for. It's dark and smoky and seedy and feels almost a little dangerous. But it's got $2 blackjack, which pays 3 to 2. The dealer was really nice, and I really liked it. If I wasn't driving, I probably would have stayed there and had quite a few drinks. It was a great trip. If I think of anything else important, I'll give you a call and tell you some more. But I love the podcast. And Dr. Mike, I hope the rest of your trip was as successful as mine was. All right, take care.
All right, good.
Yeah,
thanks, Greg.
Greg missed the big roll.
Oh, okay.
He was there before that, and we were winning. We actually were doing pretty well, but he missed the mega huge roll.
Okay, but still won. So that's
still
good.
won. Oh, yeah. When he left, he cashed out. He was ahead.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And my dad and I were just sitting there. We were both ahead, too. And then later, the mega roll came.
Oh, okay.
So he missed that, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
So, Greg, I hate to tell you that if you'd stayed
it got a little better
hour,
even then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that a few years back, kind of a casino crawl around Las Vegas to all the places
I
we'd
had
never
told
been
him
before.
that we had done that.
Yeah, that was fun. I can't see us doing it again only because, we went to a lot of the casinos. Now, I know there are new ones, and some of the ones we went to aren't there anymore, but I can't really see us doing it again. But
we did it because we just felt like we should go to these places.
Yeah.
And, now it's like, oh, you've seen one. The M, I agree 100%. I do not like the M.
I've only been there very briefly with you, and it did not go well. We were just in and out.
We haven't won. I've been there 2 or 3 times, and I've never really had. It's a weird casino.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's better if you stay there. I don't know. I can't speak to it.
It kind of reminds me of MGM Grand after it first opened. It's huge, and
it's M's not huge.
Well, it's not huge, but the casino floor was pretty big.
At M?
Yeah. Don't you remember it was kind of wide open? It was almost like, maybe it wasn't that it was huge. It was just there weren't a lot of people in there when we were there.
Well, that's true.
And so it seemed empty.
It's okay. It seemed big because it was empty.
Because it was empty.
I'll give you that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. It just seemed big. Like well, where is everybody? Kind of thing. Yeah. Everyone's going to hit a royal, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be the last person.
Yeah, if you put an infinite number of monkeys in front of an infinite number of video poker machines, they're all of them. The infinite number of monkeys are going to hit at royals, not you and me.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. God. And I played a little video poker with some free play that I had at Harris, and I mean, several times I'd get 3 to a royal or something and just nothing. It just doesn't hit. Meanwhile, someone like Julie will go sit at a table and just hit a royal like that.
Hey, I hit another one.
Yeah, and David too. They hit royals like they're, like they own the casino.
All right, let's hear from Adam again.
Hey guys, it's Adam from Connecticut. Just wanted to call with a quick report. I spontaneously decided to go up to MGM today after some other plans fell through. MGM Springfield, so I had a couple hours to kill, so I went up and went to a very full craps table, and I had to squeeze my way in. I bought in for $200 and cashed out for $560, so that's my biggest single craps session ever. I did want to just point out, the table bosses, they can be very, very different. There was one there that the dealers were great, dealers were all social. The table boss was, I don't want to say rude, but he was a little, nonchalant, just kind of sitting there marking his bonus bets and not really doing too much to get into the game, even though the table was great. Dealers were getting tipped like crazy. And at one point, on the come-out roll, I always do horn high ace deuce. I know it's a terrible bet mark, but, Dr. Michael liked that. I always do horn high ace deuce, and I press it once it hits. So there was one come-out roll, I forgot to make it, and of course it hit. And the dealer asked the table boss if she could just pay me because I had done it every single time, and he said no. I thought that was a little strange. I mean, it's a $26 payoff. I just don't understand why they wouldn't pay a $26 bet. I had been tipping them like crazy as well. Later on, I forgot to do it one other time, and it was a brand new table boss. She had literally just sat down. I was the shooter, and I forgot to put the horn high ace deuce. And I threw the dice basically as the dealer was saying, what about your horn high ace deuce? And of course, ace deuce came up. The dealer explained it to the table boss, and the table boss said, you know what, pay him. So every table boss is different. I still couldn't believe that the other guy wouldn't pay me, but hey, it is what it is. I took them for $360, and I'm sure they'll eventually get it back at some point. Anyway, have a good day. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, personalities, like anything
crazy.
in life.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a casino, if I was a pit boss, I just want to keep everyone happy because in the long run, you're getting their money.
You're getting the money back. And like we've talked about it, we like virtually everyone that works at Harrah's Southern California.
Right.
We get along with the pit bosses and the dealers and the floor, everybody. But there are a few exceptions. Obviously, we won't mention them on the show, but looking at you, I know you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It's just like, gosh, I mean.
What's their deal?
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
So.
Well, let me tell you, I will mention one name. I'm going to talk about Ray.
Okay.
Pit boss Ray. Super nice
super
guy.
Nice, yeah.
Super nice.
Yeah.
So last night, get this, I bet the world and I parlay it to a horn.
Yes.
If it hits, it's a big payout for me and the dealers. Well, when 2 or 12 come up on the world bet, I parlay the dealers. They have a $5 world. They get a $16 horn and they drop $15 for themselves.
Right. So they get a $15 tip and then they still have $16 working.
Right. And so at one point that happened. The table was very crowded and I had some other bets. Anyway, they forgot to drop their $15.
Okay.
So it's a few rolls later.
Yeah.
We're coming out again. Same thing happens. And then one of the dealers like, oh my God, we didn't drop our 15 from the time before.
Mm-hmm.
And they call Ray over. Oh, what should we do? What should we do? And I'm like, don't worry about it. I don't want to wait for the camera or anything.
Right.
So I give him $15.
Okay.
I said, here, just drop this. It'll be like you dropped 15, right? And then Ray's like, no, Mike, it's okay. He makes them give me my $15 back, and he has them drop 15 out of the stack for them because he knows they're not going to cheat.
First of all, he knows how you bet. So he knows that you're doing that every time.
Right.
And it's a very common. This is a very common. It's almost like clockwork. Okay, they drop 15.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, he didn't have any problem. No. Mike, we'll drop it.
Sure.
And so everyone was happy.
Yeah. And there's some personalities that in the same situation, well, I don't know what to tell you. You forgot to do it. We can't go back.
Yeah, we can't go back. And it was their own dealers, I mean, I wasn't out any money. But I'm more than happy to give them 15.
Yeah, that's great. All right, last call. Let's hear from Mississippi Rob.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Mississippi Rob calling in with a trip report from Biloxi this past weekend where a group of us got together for a few days. Just to give a little background first, and then I've got a question for you. So going back to last summer when I visited Vegas, I actually swung by the South Point Casino for a bit, and I noticed a guy at the craps table, and it looked like he had been doing pretty good, so I bought in with, $100 just to play for a few minutes and watch him. And it turns out this guy had bought in for a couple hundred, played all through the night, got up to $2,000 or $3,000 bankroll. And the most interesting part, what drew me into the table right off the bat, was that he was throwing the dice overhand, a nice overhand lob across the table. Dealers were loving it. Everybody's having a good time, laughing about it. No big deal. And I've said to myself, I wonder if I could do that. Well, bring it back to this last weekend, playing midday on Saturday at the Golden Nugget in Biloxi. I decide, without telling anybody, when they push the dice to me, I'm going to give it a go. So sure enough, they push them. I take them and I toss them to the other side, and the collective whenever I threw those dice was as if somebody just broke their leg into about 3 pieces. I kind of didn't know what to do, and then just to make the matters worse, one of the dice, of course, bounced off the table. So dealers are looking at me funny, players are looking at me funny, and so I just kind of had to defend myself, tell a little bit of the background, and just say I'm trying it again. So tried it again, set the point. Took me 1 or 2 more rolls to make a point, and then actually the next 2 rolls I set it, made it again. So kind of on a streak at this point. 1 more try, and I bounced off the table, so I kind of bailed on it. But I did proceed to hit my next 3 points for one of the best rolls I've had in quite a long time. So I just wanted to see if y'all had ever seen anybody throw the dice overhand, and if y'all were going to give it a try sometime soon. Thanks a lot. Really enjoy the show. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Have you ever seen me throw the dice overhand, Mark?
I think I have seen it a few times, yeah.
Usually when I'm pissed off about something.
Sir.
And I just slam them down overhand into the table. Right?
Well, I'll tell you, I actually did it once too, Mike. And I don't think you were with me. It was one of those rare times when I was there and you were not. There was this sitcom on TBS a few years back. It was called Ground Floor. Kind of obscure. I think it was only like 20 episodes. It was a workplace multi-camera sitcom. And in one episode, they were in Vegas. I think they were actually at Caesar's Palace, or supposed to be at Caesar's Palace. And one of the guys is playing, and he had never played before. And so he decided he was going to roll overhand. And what he would do was he'd pick up the dice, hold his hand way high above his head, and then kind of, throw it like this, like a lever coming down, right? And I thought that was so funny. So I went up to Harris. I thought, I'm gonna try that. And see, right? So I pick it up and do that kind of lever thing. And of course, they hit and both dice go off the table. It's not even close, right? There's nothing. So I thought, okay, I won't be doing that anymore.
Yeah, I've done it many times when I'm usually mad about something. I just pick them up and slam them down. But you can only do that once or twice, and then you have to go back because it's like
it is hard to keep them on the table that way. It's right. They don't. And
it's a pretty violent way to throw. It's like, what's his problem?
Oh gosh, he must be losing.
Yeah, really.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Hey, we want to thank some people for some PayPal donations. First of all, from David, thank you very much. Also from Tim Lawson, he says, did a bunch of banking in Biloxi and won a hand with the copy advantage. Oh, he's talking about Pai Gow Poker, right?
Poker,
we always say, if you can bank and you're comfortable banking, maybe you don't want to do it if there are other players at the table, but certainly if it's just you and the dealer, ask if you can bank every other hand. So that worked out good for him. Good job, Tim. Also from Jesse, he says, Mike, Mark, listening since episode 4. Wow. Those early episodes.
Since episode 4. The first 3 never went back and listened to.
Been loving it ever since, heading to Vegas December 16th through the 19th from my home in New York City with a couple of friends. Usually my winter trip is a week or 2 after Dr. Mike's Great Gift wrap-up. Looking forward to playing craps for 3 days straight. I play much more like Mike while my friend plays more like Mark. Appreciate all you guys do. Thank you. Best, Jesse. And he sent us a nice picture of a
that
big
was
win
a great picture
that he had at Golden Gate at the craps table.
That was a nice picture.
Thanks for that. Hey, be sure to check out our TV listings showing all the gambling-related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. We update those listings every Wednesday using a customized program that searches through all the raw American TV data. Just go to youcanbetonthat.com/TV-listings. And I didn't do it Wednesday this week because the service that I used to get all that raw American TV data was down. So it's going to be a little late this week.
Satellite failure?
No, I don't know what it was. I can't figure it out. But that raw American TV data, those are precious data. So
I like that they're raw.
Oh, they are so raw, Mike. I'll show you sometime. Yeah. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS. Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. Finally, please go to your favorite podcast app and write a review on us. We love getting your feedback. What do you got for us, Dr. Mike?
I don't use raw enough.
No, you don't.
No, I need to start using the word raw more.
Yeah.
Wow, that was certainly a raw roll.
That's right.
What do you mean by that? Well, raw.
That's right. Boy, the casino sure made me feel raw tonight.
Yeah, right. I could use that every week, I think. Win or lose. One thing that I did come back from Vegas with is this terrible cold. Yeah, geez, it's killing me this week.
Yeah.
It's funny because the first thing I tell you is, God, I got to get rid of this cold. I mean, we're going to the casino Friday night.
That's the only thing I can think of is, well, Mike, you're going to be well enough by Friday, right? I mean, we're still going, right?
Right. I mean, I can't stay home. That'd be ridiculous. I'm not going to say anything about sports, even though I'm very excited about all of them.
Okay. All right. Good. Thank you.
I don't want to mention this, that the Chargers are, probably in the playoffs.
Blah.
One of the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, they're doing fine. I'm indifferent.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I root for the players. I love Phillip.
Oh, see, that's the thing,
I like
right? Yeah,
Phillip Rivers.
is having a great year.
Gates.
For as long as he's been in the league, he's having a great year.
They have some new rookies who are great, too. I mean, they really have a very good team. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to be in the Super Bowl or anything, but they're a team nobody wants to play.
Yeah. If you're a Chargers fan, it's been a good season.
Yeah, it's been a good season. Yeah. So I'm very happy.
Okay.
Our sports betting is going good. You've had a rough patch the last day or two.
Yeah, but leading up to that point.
Leading up to that, you were doing very well.
Let's just let the listeners know that I've pretty much taken over the sports betting, making all the picks.
Yeah.
And we've been doing much better as a result. So
right. It's good. How are you getting your information?
Oh, I'll show you afterwards.
Yeah,
I don't want to say it on the air.
Yeah. Right. Real scientific. He's got like some dice and he's
All right. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
Mark, that was wonderful. I had no idea you were so talented. The audience is going to love you.